The potential for human habitation on our planet faces a formidable threat with the escalating heat attributed to climate change. The ramifications of global warming, if temperatures rise by a minimum of 1 degree Celsius or more from their current levels, entail billions enduring conditions of extreme heat and humidity, challenging their capacity to maintain their body temperature naturally. An article published on October 9th in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences underscores the catastrophic impact that exceeding a 1.5 degree Celsius increase from pre-industrial levels would inflict upon global human health. This threat is not exaggerated. It poses a substantial danger to billions worldwide. The human body's tolerance for high temperatures and humidity combinations has limits that, when breached, render individuals susceptible to heat-related ailments, including heat strokes and heart attacks. As climate change propels a surge in global temperatures, a substantial portion of the global populace could surpass these thresholds, endangering billions of lives. Since the onset of the industrial age and the combustion of fossil fuels in machinery and factories, global temperatures have risen by approximately 1 degree Celsius or 1.8 degrees Fahrenheit. In 2015, 196 nations came together to sign the Paris Agreement, which aimed to curb global temperature increases to within 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels. A research team devised a model predicting potential global temperature increases ranging from 1.5 to 4 degrees Celsius, representing the worst-case scenario of accelerated warming. By utilizing this model, the researchers identified areas on the planet where heat and humidity levels would surpass human tolerance. W. Larry Kenney, the co-author of the study and holder of the Marie Underhill Knoll Chair in Human Performance and a professor of physiology and kinesiology at Penn State, stressed the importance of comprehending how climate change will impact human health through an interdisciplinary approach, bridging planetary and human biology. He emphasized that the complexity of environmental influences on human life necessitates collective efforts to tackle the challenges ahead. In a study conducted by Penn State scholars in the previous year, the maximum wet bulb temperature that young and healthy individuals can safely endure is approximately 31 degrees Celsius, equivalent to 87.8 degrees Fahrenheit, under full humidity. However, the threshold for each individual varies, depending not only on temperature and humidity, but also on factors like activity level, wind speed, and solar radiation. The globe has experienced extreme temperatures and humidity levels exceeding human limits only sporadically and briefly, primarily in the Middle East and Southeast Asia. If global temperatures surpass pre-industrial levels by 2 degrees Celsius, 2.2 billion individuals residing in Pakistan and India's Indus River Valley, as well as 1 billion people in eastern China and 800 million in sub-Saharan Africa, will face extended periods of intolerably hot weather, primarily accompanied by high humidity. Unfortunately, these regions often coincide with lower to middle-income countries, where access to air conditioning and heat relief measures is limited. Should global temperatures increase by 3 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels, regions such as the eastern seaboard and central areas of the United States, stretching from New York to Florida and Houston to Chicago, will grapple with heat and humidity surpassing human tolerance. South America and Australia will similarly be subjected to extreme heat if warming reaches this degree. The United States will experience more frequent heat waves if current warming trends persist. However, the models utilized in this research may not account for the most extreme and rare weather events. Predictive models excel at forecasting trends, but often struggle with precise event predictions. Daniel Vecellio, the lead author, explains that while models like these can forecast trends, they often fail to predict specific events, such as the 2021 Oregon heat wave or London reaching 40 degrees Celsius last summer, where temperatures remained within human tolerance limits. Hence, the United States may evade the most severe consequences of global warming, but deadly and intolerable heat waves will become more common. If global temperatures continue to rise, a world could emerge where crops fail, forcing millions, if not billions, to migrate from uninhabitable regions. Kenney and his colleagues have conducted 462 experiments to document the effects of heat, humidity, and physical exertion on human bodies. establishing that rising body temperature triggers sweat production and increased blood flow to the skin, facilitating heat dissipation to maintain core temperature. However, at certain high levels of heat and humidity, these mechanisms fail, causing core temperature to rise. Failing to cool down within a few hours can lead to heat-related ailments and cardiovascular stress, including heart attacks. In 2022, Kenny and Vecellio conducted research that showed human tolerance for heat and humidity is lower than previously believed. Matthew Huber, a co-author and professor of Earth, Atmospheric and Planetary Sciences at Purdue University, praised Kenny's team at Penn State for providing essential empirical evidence. These findings laid the foundation for the latest forecasts on areas where climate change may render conditions unsustainable for humans. After the study, Huber reached out to Vecellio, who was already involved in mapping climate change effects. They joined forces in a study to investigate the impact of a 1.5 degrees Celsius to 4 degrees Celsius temperature increase on global populations, predicting a warming of approximately 3 degrees Celsius by 2100 if no action is taken. Chin Kong, a graduate student working with Huber, pointed out that many global weather adaptation policies primarily focus on temperature, but overlook the more significant danger of humid heat. To address pressing issues, resources should shift towards effective heat mitigation measures. Regardless of the extent of global warming, individuals should remain vigilant about extreme heat and humidity, as older populations are more susceptible to heat stress and its health complications. Vecellio, a postdoctoral researcher at the Virginia Climate Center of George Mason University, highlights that heat waves are the deadliest weather event in the United States. She underscores the importance of self-care and neighborly support during heat waves, particularly for the elderly and sick. While the study primarily analyzed core body temperatures, other factors can contribute to health issues during heat waves. For example, during the 1995 Chicago heat wave, most of the 739 fatalities were elderly individuals who suffered from high body temperature and cardiovascular problems, leading to heart attacks and other cardiovascular issues. To mitigate rising temperatures, reducing greenhouse gas emissions, especially from fossil fuel burning, is crucial. Failure to act will primarily impact middle-income and low-income countries, according to Vecellio, citing decades of research. The researchers cited Al Hudaydah, a Yemeni port city by the Red Sea, as an example. In the scenario of a 4 degrees Celsius temperature increase, this city, housing over 700,000 people, will endure more than 300 days annually, with weather exceeding human tolerance thresholds, rendering it uninhabitable. Huber noted that the most severe heat stress cases will arise in regions with rapidly growing populations and limited wealth. These nations emit fewer greenhouse gases than wealthier counterparts. Consequently, billions living in poverty will suffer with potential fatalities. However, wealthier nations will not be immune to rising temperatures, as the interconnected nature of the world ensures a widespread negative impact. This research was funded by grants from the National Institute on Aging, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, and the National Science Foundation. To support our channel's growth and ensure broader awareness, kindly hit the like and subscribe buttons. This will help us reach more individuals and disseminate valuable information. Thank you in advance.